Khy Uniq, spoken word and holistic music artist, author, wellness entrepreneur. Seems like a very authentic and rad dude. Welcome to Heart Dealer. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, man. Thank you for having me, man.
No
How
problem,
are you?
man. I'm great. So this is the 513. It's kind of my version of the 411, a quick and easy way for people to get to know you on a more intimate level.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through some questions. We're going to go from the
Okay.
head to the heart to the soul. All killer, no filler. What do you say?
All right, let's do it, man.
I always start the same way. What are you obsessed with right now?
Hmm. Expanding, um, building connection. That's the whole point of these tours that I'm curating right now. It's becoming it's taking over my mind. You know, how do I expand? How do I continue to like put everything that you just said,
Mhm.
wellness, advocate, spoken word, artist, how do I make it make sense for the rest of the world? So I'm obsessed with trying to make everything under one thing and make it an ecosystem and
Mhm.
expand that and create a new business model for artists, creatives.
So broaden the message by sharing that with many people or as many people as possible, helping them at the same time. It sounds from what I've researched with you, it's not about you, it's about like helping others.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's why I have the books, the
Yeah.
wellness, and the music because there's more than one way to reach a person. There's more than one way. So if I can't get somebody through music, somebody may like to read. They might not like my music, but who am I to try to not try to provide the resources, you know?
I love that. You can't force someone. All you can do is give them material and education and hope that they'll take something from that. And what you're doing is giving them that education in different platforms and different media formats so that they can hopefully you'll hit more people.
Especially in this day and age, we're in the day and age of information. A lot of information is being given out day to day.
Yeah,
And everybody knows that everybody's attention span is very short. There's a lot going on in the world. So
absolutely. Okay, what puts you in a good mood instantly?
mm, will put me in a good mood instantly. The sun. I love the sun. I love to feel the sun. It do something to me. I feel like Superman. You know, Superman get his powers from the sun. I feel like Superman, man.
I know what you mean, man. You close your eyes and you imagine yourself like with the heat and the feeling of the warmth and something about it, especially first thing in the morning. Um,
Hmm.
which artist changed the way you think about music?
That's a good question, man. Change. Okay, change the way I think about music. It would be Victor Rubin. Victor Rubin. He's a bass player. He connects it and makes more sense in the spiritual level. You know, he talks about the notes and the chords and everything like that and how it can resonate to real life. And hip hop, like who changed the way I look at hip hop and then who changed the way I look at music? Like to me, two different things. Music is way more than just one genre. So I would
Mhm.
say Victor Wu.
That's awesome. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Is the best if I that's I gotta say a thing about that, man. That's mm, the best advice I ever received. I probably would say that is probably if you plan on being a public figure, you can't let public opinions get you. I probably would say that.
That's wicked. Who shared that advice with you?
Um, who was it? It was when I had my store. It was this older man. He came in the store. And he was talking to me because I was like, you know, I was caring a lot about what people were saying. You
Mm,
know, and he was like, man. well, you plan on being a public figure, right? Like, you doing your thing in a store, you throw your events and stuff like that. Like people in the area kind of look up to you to a certain degree. You can't be in the public and then let public opinions get you. And I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's cold, you
Yeah.
know? And it was like breeding more confidence. Cause I don't mean it in like don't care about what your supporters and stuff is saying, but just own what you do,
I
and
mean,
people who it resonates with will follow.
I love that. It's funny how we get advice sometimes from people older than us,
Hmm.
wiser. I have one of my tattoos here is from my grandmother. I came home from a trip and I was asking her, and she was not a very emotional, loving person. She was kind of hard,
Really.
but I was like, yo, like, what do I do? What do you think?
Um,
And she goes, choose love. And that stuck with me forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things that I never forgot. So I'm hearing what you're saying.
wow.
Um, that's the head, man. Now we're gonna get into the heart. I got one question. I did a bunch of research and I thought through it, and then something actually popped up this morning to reconfirm it. So let me get through this question, and then I want you to expand your
Okay.
mind and our minds.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so here's a heavy, heady one for you. So this morning I'm at the gym. I try to start my day with some movement, and I'm watching latest Theo Vaughn podcast, and he's got this country singer Trace Adkins on, and he's
Mm.
telling Theo how one of his ex-wives took a gun and shot him under this armpit, and it came out the other armpit, and it went
Okay.
through his heart, through both lungs. He survived. He's still here. And Theo was like, "That's crazy. Thank God that she shot you so close range, because apparently the bullet didn't have time to like mushroom or anything. It was just clean through. And if it had,
Mm,
he wouldn't be here." A
mm,
neighbor of mine had a heart attack about a month, 2 months ago, and all these things
mm,
went wrong that day. But every ambulance was missing and all this crazy stuff. And then the only ambulance that could come was the one that was farthest away, but that was the one that had the equipment that he needed
mm.
when he flatlined twice
Wow.
on the way to the hospital.
Wow.
I had a little girl last year who died a week after being born in my arms on Father's Day. I've shared that story here before, but
God bless.
that led to my fiance now having a new baby in her tummy who's going to be coming at the end of this year. So my question to
Wow.
you is negative and positive. It's perspective.
Yes.
I watched your TV interview, the first one you ever did, not
Mhm.
wearing a Tupac Shakur shirt. I was corrected. Self privilege, self help book. You talk about your journey and you highlighted your grandmother's death. So, my
Yeah.
question is, what's the blessing that you find in your grandmother's death that has helped you and changed you?
Mm. And is today is Monday. Saturday was the 1 year anniversary. It was the
Oh,
1 year anniversary of her
what?
passing. Yeah, it was her 1 year anniversary. Um,
I did not plan that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, it's all cool. It's dope. It's dope, man. That's that the universe, God knows kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But I would say that the biggest blessing was that I went through my biggest fear, and I'm still here. And not doing as bad as I thought I would. The biggest blessing was being able to see my strength, that I didn't think that I had when she passed. A little backstory, when she passed, I lived with her till she passed, and basically when she passed, I had like 2 weeks to get out. I had to get out. I had to get out. I had to find somewhere else to live, and I always wonder. I always spend like a lot of time wondering, like, Grandma, something happened to you. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I know I'll be able to get me a place and stuff, but like, how am I gonna feel? Because I'm one of those kind of people who don't say, "Why is she not here? You were supposed to stay." I don't No, she has her time here, and she always elaborated that she wanted to live long enough to see me become a young man. So anytime past that, God granted her. She felt like God gave her more than enough time, and then just being able to see what I was able to do and how I carried myself and how I was able to still be a big help to others around me. It was reassuring. It was very reassuring. So, I when a bird is on the branch, what they say? They say, the bird doesn't try to see if the branch is strong. It believes in its wings. And that gave me the belief that I feel as though that I've been missing for a long time. And it granted me that within myself and within God.
That's powerful, brother. I'm choked up. That's really good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank her. She knew what she was doing. As crazy as that probably sounds.
100%. I appreciate you taking on the question. The point is that
Yeah.
things are only bad until they're good. You can change the
Yeah.
perspective. You can see things the way that you want to see. I never ever would wish the death of a child on anyone,
Yeah. That's deep.
and it's something that I'll live with forever, but I can also learn from it and I can turn it into something beautiful if I
Mhm.
change my perspective on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's the heart, man. The heart always hits you in the feels, and now we go
Yeah.
into the soul for 3 before we leave. How's that sound?
Okay. All right, that sound good.
Um, w these ones are usually the same because
Mhm.
they're impactful. What are you still trying to get better at?
Listening.
Give me more.
Yeah, okay. Um, I feel as though most of us listen in like our own language. We don't try to listen to like what fully the person isn't saying that maybe they don't know how to express. So how can I listen to not fully be responsive? How do I listen to try to come up with a solution? How do I listen to um make the other person feel seen and heard? And I think that's why I'm doing speaking. I'm doing these round table kind of discussions today. I actually went to summer camp and spoke to the kids, and in order to build a relationship with anybody, you gotta listen.
Mhm,
You can't go in there and automatically have this judgment and this automatic, what it is. So that's something I still have to, I have experience that's able to help me kind of determine what it can be, but I still gotta listen.
definitely. What do you know now that you wish you had known sooner?
This gonna sound crazy, Chris. This gonna sound crazy, man, because I don't want to sound like I'm Mr. Know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I wish I knew sooner was even though somebody at a higher place than you, they still don't understand potentially fully what it is that you're trying to do. So the advice can sometimes be generic and not really tailored to what you're trying to do. And that goes back into even a listening thing. I don't think people fully listen. They hear what you're trying to do and automatically try to put it in a box. And it's like, no, you can't put this guy who's doing CMOS books, community building, and music and try to take a formula that blew up an artist that's not doing any of that. That
Yeah.
doesn't work. Listen a little more, be a little more intentional with what you're listening.
I love that response. I actually had a really cool chat this morning with a guy named Andrew Tung, and we were talking about this
Mhm.
idea of it doesn't matter if I have 4 kids and you have 1 kid. If that 1 kid to you is like the most difficult, stressful thing in the world, and I'm like, yo, I've got 4. What are you talking about? That doesn't mean that I can't, that your feelings are invalid. I shouldn't
Right.
assume that yours is easier than mine because we all have different
Right.
levels of tolerance for different things.
It's the same thing of like trying to judge a tortoise off of what a lion can do. A lion and a
Yeah,
tortoise does not do the same thing. We're like the only species to me that tries to judge each other on the same magnitude. Like there's different kinds of birds. You
yeah,
know what I mean? There's like toucans, there's hummingbirds. You can't put them and expect them to do the same thing, want to eat the same diet. You can't expect that. So we're the only one that try to do that, in my
absolutely.
opinion.
Send us home, my friend. What does choosing love mean to you?
And you can't. That's like something I gotta like sit right about dissect. That's a hard one. Let me not say hard, but that's a deep one because my question to that will be like everybody has a different perception of what love is. I believe that as a collective, we all like jumbo all of these bunch of words into love. And I think it's like in love, do you be selfless? Do you be highly devoted? Do you be highly affectionate? What I think everybody's still looking for fully what is love. Movies show us a good idea of it, but then when we go through struggle with the person or with whoever, a loved one, whatever the case may be, it's like, is this really love to go through all this? Is this um is this is what love is consisted of? So I say that to say that's my disclaimer. To me, I'm just putting you in my mind a little bit. I think about that a lot. To me, love is being able to see a person as who they are, um, who they want to be, and who they aren't. It's being able to see. It's being able to see, even on your bad days, I still know who you are. I'm not gonna hold this bad day over you. I I forgive you, you know? So yeah, love to me is being able to see. And I don't know if you want me to go a little more into that, because being able to see is a little broad, right? But it's being able to know a person. I think love is knowing a person. It's fully knowing a person. Being able to them not telling you what kind of juice they like. You see them. You pay attention to them. You know that those heels hurts her feet. So I don't know. You get her different heels, or you have heels in the car for her that she could switch to when she's done. That's to me is love.
Yeah. Um, that's awesome. I agree with you because to love thyself is to know thyself. So,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. You listen. You made that so simple. You know, I overcomplicate it a little bit. You just broke that down so simple, man. Yes, yeah.